guys? It's the Troikality squad back with another podcast. And today we have a bunch of interesting topics to go that we're going to go ahead and hit on. And also, don't forget about our 250 sub giveaway. We are giving away a video game of your choice, a pre-order, a video game, on any system, any video game. Really, yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, my topics. We're gonna go ahead and get right into it. My first topic is the Overwatch update. They are adding a new hero called Ash, um, and she is officially added to the public servers as of right now. And she's a new DPS based hero that uses a combination of mobility and precision aiming to dominate her opponents, which I personally wouldn't be very good at because you already know my aim is awful. And then also she has kind of like a companion that's a robot named Bob, and he's used for tackling enemies. So I guess like he's kind of her tank, which is kind of interesting in a way. I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it, but it definitely is going to change gameplay as a whole with people running her now. But she's not available for competitive play for a few more weeks. I assume they just have a few more testing and balancing to do with her. Yeah. What do you guys think about this? I know no one else really plays Overwatch, but
I tried doing Overwatch. I just couldn't get into it, at least me personally. So this didn't affect me at all.
I don't know what the robot looks like, but naming it Bob and there being that robot in like Nintendo that's called Rob makes me really suspicious.
That's what I was thinking.
I was like, interesting, okay.
Dude, rip Rob. I miss that guy.
Rip Rob. Oh my gosh.
I hope they bring him back in the new Smash Bros. That's coming out.
He should be, because if they've always gone on record saying that they're bringing all the characters from all the Smash games.
all of the characters have been released, like literally all of them.
Wasn't there like a leak that they've been trying to stop for Smash Bros?
I don't think so. They were coming out like weekly and just releasing content bit by bit, and now we know every single.
I mean, it's not a news story of mine, but I've been seeing like a lot of people talking about like the leaks that have been dropping for Smash Bros. That they've been trying to keep under wraps. But anyways.
Sure.
That's not what any of us are talking about.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Maybe next week.
Sure.
Anyway, I'm gonna go into my next topic, which kind of hits a little close to home, sadly, but it's Call of Duty Black Ops 4 screwing themselves over. And they seem to do this with every single Call of Duty, and I can't wrap my head around it. But the patch update 1.07 wasn't just a patch update. I mean, they added a few things, which they hadn't. I mean, Xbox got Nuketown, which is fine. I think that it's maybe a sign of free content, considering how Nuketown in the past, even though it's been a remade map, has been in our base lineup for maps. But for this, they added it later as a free map, which I think may be a sign of improvement. But at the same time, this is where I kind of get into the blackjack patch notes or additions. So I know you guys have probably already heard, what's happened, but if you haven't, essentially, if you pre-ordered the game from GameStop, you got the skin for a pistol, and it's a pretty dope skin.
Yeah.
And anyway, they made it purchasable now.
Purchasable.
I'm gonna use that for now on. They made it purchasable for whoever. And then on top of that, a skin that everybody had when it was first released, a skin everybody had. They took that away from us and now have that in the bundle with that other skin. So it's $20 for these. They're actually variants, but it's just a skin is all it is. But they call it a variant. So it's $20 for a skin that we used to always have and no longer do because they took it away, and for a skin that was an exclusive for if you pre-ordered from GameStop. So now that pre-order bonus means essentially nothing because there's people out there buying that skin now. But I don't know, that personally really bothers me. How do you guys feel about that?
I think for that entire story. As far as the Nuketown map that was recently added, I'm glad that they brought Nuketown back. Not a huge fan of the recreation that they did with it, especially with
Really?
Nuketown. I don't like, only because like within like the past 3 Black Opses, like it's been slowly getting more and more futuristic and kind of following a more futuristic theme, and then all of a sudden it just becomes little Russian town.
I don't know.
I don't know
Like,
how else to describe it.
I think it's their way of mixing it up enough because people were getting sick and tired of, the way Nuketown was going, which I think this makes a big enough difference. I think that's what they were trying to do anyway. But I see where you're coming from.
I don't know. It's like looking at it, I actually kind of liked the change. It's like, oh, cool. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I like it.
And I am one of those people who did like the futuristic of like Black Ops 3 and other stuff like that. So.
I didn't like it, but moving on from that, as far as that, considering the fact that obviously I pre-ordered Black Ops 4, and that skin, not like it's a huge deal if the skin got taken out. It just seems like a huge, like, some greedy, schemy type
That's exactly
deal.
what it is.
Yeah,
It's
with
a quick
them.
money grab.
Exactly. So I not overly important, but it's kind of dumb. And
But here's the other thing with that is that even after you pay the $20 to get these 2 skins, you don't even get the skins right away. You have to go through the battle pass tiers, so you get to earn the right to unlock it, essentially. Like, you still have to earn it, which it's 13 tiers, which is 13 hours to unlock. Essentially, it's 13 hours to unlock the last skin. So you have to pay to play 13 hours to be able to unlock the skin. So it's just, it seems like a way to get people to keep playing, more or less forcing them through, their hard-earned money. But it's whatever.
True.
It is what it is.
Ridiculously cancerous.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit on my last topic. It's gonna be like 2 seconds. It's not a real topic, but I just found it kind of funny. I saw it. So, Patrick Mahomes, who is the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback, plays Fortnite, which a lot of pro athletes do, which I find kind of interesting. But anyway, there's a clip of Patrick Mahomes getting killed by someone wearing his jersey, which is just, it's hilarious to me. He just gets destroyed by someone that's playing him.
Yeah, that's
hilarious.
It'd be even funnier if Ninja got killed by someone wearing a Ninja skin, if that was a thing, but it's not.
Well, he did get pretty upset when they found out the $5 skins they usually have about halfway through each season.
Mm-hmm.
There's a clip of like him. Who is it? It was Nick. Muggy, you saw this with me. It was Nick and, or no, it was Ninja
Dr. Lupo.
Yeah, it was Dr. Lupo, and they just looked at the $5 skins, and Ninja was actually upset that it wasn't anything to do with him.
It was based on, like, it looked exactly like it was based off of the streamer Summit 1G, I believe is his name, and it's like, it's the Summit Striker is the name of it, and it had like a 1G thing like on his skin, so they're like, oh wow, this is actually a skin. And obviously Ninja and Fortnite essentially have been growing together to be the big successes that they are. And so for like a Ninja to not get any love from Epic, he was just kind of like, wow, this guy gets a skin? Really?
Yeah. I think speaking of Fortnite, I'll probably just take over just because like I've got some Fortnite topics. So let's bounce off from those. But big news in Fortnite, the patch update 6.31 is coming out, or downtime starts tomorrow at the time of the release for this video. But I've looked at some early patch notes. We don't know exactly what's going to be coming, or at least it's not going to, the official patch notes aren't going to be released until the official downtime, like always. But as far as some leaks or some conspiracy, we do have a new shotgun coming into the game, that a epic and legendary variant, which is what we can probably call like the heavy pump shotgun. I don't know if it was actually given a name or not. But it looks really dope. I really like it, but it does raise some questions of what's gonna happen to the heavy shotgun that's already in the game, because they look about the same. Like it wouldn't really make a lot of sense to have both shotguns in the game.
Yeah,
they look,
I know that's definitely what I thought, because I was just like, well, why would they have both shotguns in the game, like you just said? You know, just especially if they're the exact variant and everything. It's like, what is one just gonna do more damage?
Because there's already the double barrel, which is a shotgun that's gotten a epic and legendary variant.
Yeah, exactly.
So but what if they take the pump, because you know the pump's gotten nothing but nerfed since, you know, the release of Fortnite, and now it's not even like nearly a viable choice to take when you have the heavy and the double barrel.
I'm actually getting into that. There are some more leaks about that, but you know what I would not be opposed to? How about we keep the new shotgun and the heavy shotgun and just take out the double barrel?
Please.
But they have also talked about that shotguns are getting buffed again to like accommodate for
the SMGs.
Well, not to accommodate for the SMGs. This the fact that like how often they suck rather than do anything good.
Yeah.
That was actually next on my list. Shotgun buffing is coming, well, possibly coming to the next update or in the patches, where minimum damage is, as long as something hits, minimum damage is 3 pellets, which, I don't know, whenever you fire at somebody and you see like the red circles that pop up, as long as something hits, a minimum of 3 pellets hit. So you at least get, you can't get under 3 pellet damage.
And they were saying that 1 pellet is gonna be 10, so you should at least be doing 30 every hit. At least.
Yeah. We were playing a game earlier, and I luckily killed the guy, but I shot him almost directly at him, only got like 7 damage.
I did too.
But
but just a second ago.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Don't want to talk about it. Feels bad.
Next up after that, mounted turret is getting nerfed as expected. Finally, the damage on it is getting decreased, as well as increased vulnerability, meaning that you are more likely to get shot and killed. As far as what details about it, or what details I pulled up, it was especially like getting shot from the front, because I was also struggling with that whenever we were fighting up against some guy that had a mounted turret. I could not hit a shot for the life of me aiming from the front.
Yeah, we almost lost the game because of a mounted turret that. Oh.
We won that game, by the way.
You're welcome. That's why I said almost lost. But.
Actually, that guy on that turret that I ended up destroying, I did like 120 damage to him because I was actually able to hit him on the head.
I want them to increase the. Or decrease the health on the turrets, the floor.
Well, it was a lot more, and they did decrease it to what it was, and it still feels like a lot.
Yeah, it feels like forever to take it down. But
I know with a mag of AK and then hit it with the heavy sniper, and it just wasn't.
No.
Yeah.
Finally, in the patch notes, bounce pads probably being brought back. Yay! Woohoo! Now we can jump off mountains, right?
I mean, that is an advantage, I guess, especially without redeploy anymore.
I think they should.
I think it's a compromise.
Because
with redeploy, it was taking the game into a more like, you know, something you could like rush a lot more than you could before, and now it's like you can't at all, and so maybe it's like kind of their compromise between the two, which I guess I could see working, because I literally, Sugarcap can testify, I literally killed myself jumping off of a building in Tilted Towers because I was so used to redeploy, because I had just finished playing Food Fight, and I literally jumped off a building and killed myself.
The computer just went out. I was moving my mouse for a little bit. But That happened like the first game that we played. He had just got done killing somebody, and then he went to rush him, and he jumped off the cliff and died.
That happened my first game without redeploy because it was like in Shifty, and I was just like, I killed someone. I was like, cool, okay, I'm just gonna start building up, and then I jumped off. I was like, crap, they got rid of redeploy and died, and I stopped playing for the rest of the day. I was like, I'm done.
I've never done that to myself, but I had to mentally remind myself that it was no longer in the game.
Yeah,
So,
that's. Oh my gosh.
Moral of the story: you guys are noobs. But side note, also related to Fortnite, the Game Awards that are coming up, they're actually nominated for 4 awards. That being Best Outgoing Game, Best Mobile Game, Best Esports Game, and Best Multiplayer Game.
I'm outgoing. Trigger Cap is mobile, and Monkeying Around is gonna win esports.
Okay.
All right, moving on from that topic. I don't know what that was. I am in favor of. Oh wait, was it outgoing or ongoing? I think it was ongoing. I think I accidentally mistyped it.
Oh, so you lied to me.
Yeah, not outgoing game. That sounds kind of dumb. Ongoing game, which
I wondered what
assume,
that meant.
Yeah, best ongoing game being that it's been out for this long and still has a pretty credible popularity. But yeah, best ongoing game, mobile, esports, and multiplayer game. I think personally, like, multiplayer game, it could be at the top. I haven't seen what the other nominees are for the awards, but I feel like it
be
could
at the top.
Yeah, it could be, or at least my own personal opinion. I think it definitely deserves probably mobile game, just because like one of the best mobile games that are out there right now.
What's it based off of? Like, how are they?
I don't know. I mean,
it's probably just random.
If his player count is gonna be Fortnite, but if it's like,
but I mean, League of Legends has a bunch of concurrent players every month. Wouldn't that mean that
it's not as high as Fortnite?
I think it's higher.
Really?
Because it's other countries like Japan and like China, like high population countries.
I guess it's true.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, like, it's gotta win because it's the first like multiplayer game to combine PlayStation and Xbox, which has never.
I don't know about ongoing, but because I mean, there's games like Six Siege and, like you said, League of Legends and stuff like that. There's still huge games.
I mean, World of Warcraft too, by that logic, like.
Minecraft by that logic.
Exactly.
Okay, let's go on.
I know we're stuck.
Also kind of a side comment, but so the last podcast that was released, the news was about a week late, to be honest. Within that time, both Battlefield 5 and Fallout 76 both released about a week ago, around the time that the last podcast came out, so we weren't really able to touch up on it. I know I brought up that Battlefield 5 was coming out, but by the time the podcast came out, it was already out. But yeah, Battlefield 5, Fallout 76. I haven't bought either of them yet, but I'm really excited to play Battlefield 5 at least, and I'm kind of curious about 76.
First 76 is trash.
But yeah, I've heard it's really buggy, from what I've understood.
But Battlefield 5 is too. I mean, you lag out a ton, but it's one of those hit or miss things. Like, some people never lag out, and some people, can't go a full game without lagging out.
And it could be just servers trying to get their servers up and running. Call of Duty had that same deal, or has had that same deal. This past Call of Duty's been pretty good about it, but I know last Call of Duty's have been kind of bad with servers and whatnot. But final topic. So back in September, Xbox released the Xbox Adaptive Controller, and with isn't
that weird thing?
It looks like a DJ mixing board.
Descriptive.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Adaptive controller. It looks like a weird DJ not even that. It's like one of those older like where you got a little button, you got the little joystick, but it's like a big rectangle.
It looks like DJ Hero from back in the late 2000s.
That's exactly what I was about to say. From Guitar Hero, but when they start implementing drums.
What is interesting about it, and I'm kind of curious to see if there's a way of playing with it. There's I don't know if it's like aux inputs or whatnot, but on the sides there's inputs that you can plug in, and you can add these different joysticks or switches or buttons or whatnot. And there's a label above them as far as what that joystick or button is going towards. The purpose of this adaptive controller was for people with disabilities. You even see on the official website, like people in like wheelchairs using it. That was the main purpose for the adaptive controller. The main reason for me bringing this up is that they Xbox also, with the dropping or the announcement of the Xbox adaptive controller coming out, they made the offer that if PlayStation or Nintendo Switch wanted to jump on board with also being a part of the adaptive controller team, and those with disabilities can plug in their Switch or PlayStation controller or whatever works best for them. They can plug it into the imports on the Xbox adaptive controller, because it's not only...
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's not specifically for Xbox. Like, you can use it for PC or whatever. But it made the offer to... Yeah, it made the offer to PlayStation and the Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo actually somewhat responded. They both haven't like officially said like they're gonna jump on board, but Nintendo has recently come out and said that they're very interested in making their Switch compatible with this, or at least redesigning something to be compatible with the Xbox adaptive controller. I know I've heard talk of a new Switch, or like a new Switch adaptation coming out at some point within the next couple of years, or an upgrade, or I don't know what exactly it is. But yeah, that's mostly the story that I pulled from this, was that Nintendo might be jumping on the Xbox adaptive controller club. But yeah, that's about it for all of my stories.
Okay, well then, starting off, I think we're going to start off with the one that has to do with gaming, and that's, if you didn't know, if any of the people I'm talking to didn't know, or anyone who's watching this didn't know, TellTale Games has closed and like gone under, and that sucks because they were in the process of finishing up The Walking Dead, the final season of their TellTale games, which that's not the reason that I started this story, that's just something that you need to know, but something that has been announced.
Story mode.
They finished those stories, but okay. No, but the reason I did bring it up was that Skybound has announced that they have taken on a lot of the people who were at TellTale working on the final season 4 Walking Dead, and they've already started working and finishing it out, just so they at least can finish out that game, so it's not an incomplete story. And so they even have a lot of the original people back, like some of their people, and then a lot of the original team members who are working on the episodes.
I wonder
if
they're going to be coming out with other games like similar to like TellTale games, essentially.
I think what it will be is based purely off of how good it does. Like if they're like, oh wow, these games were actually really good, like with new direction or new oversight, then they might, okay, we could still do this with this team and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Was this meant to be the last episode of The Walking Dead either way, or is it being made the last episode?
It was the final season regardless. It just also happened to everything fell out. But they had only done 2 episodes of this season had released, and so they have 3, 4, and 5 that they still needed. So,
no, I feel like they might just rush it, and it won't be the finished product.
Well, they were saying that, like, I can read the exact quote from Skybound. It said, "Thank you for your patience while we worked with TellTale to take control of TellTale's The Walking Dead. It's been a ton of work logistically and legally to get us in place to where we're able to roll up our sleeves and get to the actual work. After TellTale shut its doors, the game was unfortunately unable to be worked on, and hence the release dates of episodes 3 and 4 have been delayed. But we're excited to let you know that many of the talented, passionate team members who originally worked are resuming development efforts today." It said, "Soon we'll be announcing release dates for the 2 remaining episodes. It's likely that, like the previous seasons of the game, may be unavailable to purchase for a few days as we transition, but everything should be back ASAP," and that sort of thing like that. So essentially, they're still working on it, and they have to delay everything, so I don't think it's going to be that rushed, just based, purely off of that, and they're like, it's delayed and we don't have release dates yet, that sort of thing. But that's just one of the stories. And then one that is like kind of a story, but it is pretty much just rumor. and it has to do with the MCU because, of course, I love that. Uh, there's been a rumor going around that we're going to get some big Marvel Cinematic Universe news on December 28th, which it could be an Avengers 4 trailer, just because we've always heard that we would be getting a trailer by the end of the year. And also, December 28th happens to be Stan Lee's birthday. So that would be like a big deal because, he just passed a couple weeks ago, and to have that also release that big trailer of like the biggest part of the universe on his birthday would be kind of cool.
It's also 8 days after, 2 really important people's birthdays.
It's not. That is pretty much it for my stories. Is there any final notes you guys wanted to add really quick?
Season 6 is getting ready to end. Season 7 for Fortnite's getting ready to come out soon.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so for heads up for all those that haven't reached tier 10 or tier 100 yet, shout out to monkeying around.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, I
anybody
didn't buy my way there.
Shut up.
Yeah,
I was gone for half of the season.
You just weren't supposed to get them. That's the way it was supposed to work. You were not supposed to get the skins.
I was gone, and I was gonna get those skins. I was gonna be freaking Wolfie. Alright.
No, you were not supposed to get them because you were supposed to be busy with something more important than Fortnite.
I'm just worried about the wolf skin challenges going away.
What?
Because
you can ask Alec, or Trapped, whatever. We've used first names already, but he still had his Ragnarok challenges still that he's working on.
Not still had, still have.
Have.
You still have them?
Yeah.
I still have the last one. I just finished
carries
the second
over.
one the other day.
Oh, all right then.
I also missed half of last season. Yeah, last half of last season. Well, more than the last half. I missed the entirety of last season except for the first week, and then I missed the first half of this season. So came at week 6, I believe, week 5.
But yeah, anyways, just for all those that aren't tier 100 yet, week 10 is getting ready. The week 10 challenges are getting ready to drop here in a couple days. So in case you haven't reached tier 100, you might want to get on that because we have about almost about a week now before season 7
something
comes.
like that. It's really crazy how close it is.
But yeah, for those that are excited for season 7, comment down below what you. For those that are excited for season 7, comment down below what things you might be excited for, or what you think might come next in season 7. Because I have no clue what's going to be coming next.
It's just gonna probably be Christmas. There's no need to raise your
snowstorm
hand.
that's coming. There's a snowstorm that's getting ready to brew.
Have you ever raised your hand in a discussion before?
High five.
Okay. Anyway, does anyone else have anything else to say before I say the last few words and then close it up?
So the other day I was actually talking.
Okay, that's a no. You can close this out, Trap.
All right. So in our last video, we got a comment recommending Red Dead Redemption 2 gameplay. We will be having some of that. So if you have any other suggestions, feel free to let us know. We take them with open hearts and open minds, and we're going to take them and we're going to do it for you because your opinion matters. And then in addition to that,
we just don't get a lot of comments. That's the only reason why we're doing it.
And then me and Monkeying Around both have somewhat new and interesting setups. And so we plan to have a setup video for both of us. We're going to include, prices of everything, $1,300 PC, his,
He might include prices.
I'll include
I
prices.
am not guaranteeing that.
You guys matter to me. And anyway, so if you want to see that, be sure to leave a like. We'll try and get that out this week, hopefully. At least one of them, and then the other one maybe next week. And then we're going to start up on the Fortnite loot routes again. So stay tuned for that. That's a big series on our channel. So that's it for this video. And if you guys would just leave a like, a comment, letting us know, what we could do better or what you would like to see, that'd be great. And I hope to see you guys in the next one.
See ya.